Hello, I'm Todd Hall, President and CEO of True Lion. As we mark our 70th anniversary in 2022, we reflect on a rich history that would not be possible without the support of the great city of Winston-Salem. From our humble beginnings in 1952 to the present, where we will soon serve over 300,000 members, hire our 1,000th employee, and exceed $4 billion in assets, to a future poised for continued growth. I am proud of the work we are doing together. True Lion is grateful for and remains committed to Winston-Salem and all of Forsyth County.
Welcome to the Greater Conversations podcast. I'm Deetra Miller, the Director of Member Relations and Engagement at Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. We'll use this platform to showcase our local businesses, our community, and their stories. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I am super excited to have here with me today Victoria Manginas and Tamisha Cruz with Zito Pizzeria and Grill. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here today. I can't wait to learn more about Zito Pizzeria and Grill. Okay. I've only recently discovered it, so I just want to know the entire story because I think it's so interesting what I read on the website. Okay. So I want to start by having you, Victoria, introduce yourself. Talk a little bit about your background.
Okay, so my name is Victoria, and I've been in the States for about 4 years, and that's when I came to help my dad with the restaurant. So they opened it in 2014, my parents, and we also live in Canada, so it was like a back and forth relationship. So they opened Zito in 2014 because they wanted to kind of do their own thing, a Greek pizzeria. So yeah, they opened it, and then I moved here about 2017 to kind of help out with the business, and I was originally going to school in Canada for law. Oh. So I was like visiting a lot, and I really liked the restaurant. So in 2017, I would say, I noticed my dad was kind of getting tired with the work, and it was short-staffed and all that. So I said, okay, I'm going to take a semester off, and I'm going to help. I'm going to help in the restaurant business, and I'll go back to school later. So I stayed for about a year after that, and then in 2018, we had an accident with my dad. So he ended up passing away in November. So we closed the restaurant for about 5 months, and my mom and I were thinking, what are we going to do? Are we just going to go back to Canada? Are we going to continue? We just didn't know what to do. So we sat down, we looked at the numbers, and we said, it probably makes sense to just give it a try. And I really wanted to. I was only 20, but I'm like, I like the business. I liked what my dad did, and I want to just give it a try. If I fail, that's fine. So I dropped out of school, and my whole family was like, what are you doing? This is crazy. Oh. Like, it's the dumbest thing you'll ever do. You're going to fail. It's going to close. It's going to this. So I had so much flack from, like, friends and family, but I was like, you know what? I'll fail if I don't try. If I do. So whatever it is, I'm just going to try. So we reopened in March. Was it March? Yes, March.
Yes.
So whole new staff, whole new menu. And that's when Miss Tanisha came, thank God, because she was God sent. So we reopened, and one of the main things I really wanted to push on our menu was veganism, because that was something my family, like half the year, we're vegans due to our faith, Greek Orthodox faith. So we reopened the restaurant in 2018. I ended up obviously staying, and now fast forward 4 years later, we're still here. I have Tanisha on my team, and yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. And we'll go back and touch a little bit on the story of why your dad chose to come to Winston-Salem and start everything. But Tanisha, talk a little bit about your background.
Let's see. I've been working a lot of places. At this time, I was working at another restaurant down the street from Zito's. I said, you know what? I want to do something different. I need some more money coming in, and Zito's came across my Facebook page, and I said, let me try it out. I applied for it on Friday. Sunday, I was at church, and she responded back to me to come in on Monday. Wow. And I came in on Monday, and I'm here 3 years later.
Wow.
I'm the only one that, we started off full staff. I'm the only one that's been here since day one of us opening back up in March. So all the staff left for various reasons, personal reasons, whatever happened, pandemic, whatever. I've been through the whole thing, and I'm grateful. I love where I work at. I love my job. This is probably the only job that I'm 48 years old, and I love this job. Wow. Like, actually, it's amazing. great family. I came into a family-owned business that loves me, and I love them back. We'll do anything for them. They're a great family. So yes, great job.
I love
Great
that.
job.
I love that relationship. And that seems to be a theme with a lot of the small businesses in Winston-Salem. When they're family owned, they build this relationship
Exactly.
with the people that are on their team. They're not
Yes.
employees, they're teammates, which is really very beautiful. So I love that story. I love that. I mean, 3 days? Wow.
Friday, Sunday, Monday I was hired.
You have to
That's
understand,
amazing.
at that time though, I was like, I need, like, we're opening in a week. I gotta have like a good
Yeah.
staff. So I was like, whoever was applying at that time, but
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. That's pretty
thank
amazing.
God though, yeah, very thankful.
So, talk about your dad's journey from Canada to Winston-Salem. Why did he choose Winston to start the business?
Good question.
Yeah, so originally he's from Greece. So from Greece at the age of 14, he came to Canada. He immigrated there.
Okay.
And then he was working in various restaurants, of course, 'cause that's what all Greeks do. And then he actually opened up his own pizzeria in Montreal when he was 15 or 16 years old.
What?
Yes. And
Wow.
he would explain to me, he's like, I was living large, I was doing this, I was, like, all the stuff he was saying, if I ever did it, he would, like, go crazy. But then he said he started, like, settling down more, going into more business with family that he had there. And then he met my mom, and then he got married, had children. So they had owned restaurants together from the time they were married. So they were immersed in the restaurant business with my mom's parents and just themselves. So an opportunity came in the early 2000s for work in America, in restaurants, of course. And in Canada, you have to understand, it's very difficult to have a business unless it's already been there for a very long time. Like, taxes were going up, prices were going up, cost of living was going up. So my dad saw this opportunity in the States, and he's always wanted to live in the States because he has family there. So he met with his family, and the money was good and everything. So he said, I'm just going to go try it for a year and see. So during that time, they were still running the restaurants in Canada. But then my dad realized, he's like, okay, if I can get my paperwork, work here, and then eventually we can, like, start a life in America, I'm going to go for that. So in the early 2000s, he left. I was 5 years old. So we would only see him, like, he'd come home for Christmas, Easter. We'd go there for the whole summer. And this was in Georgia, out of all places.
Wow.
So he was there for about 14 years, and then finally he's like, okay, I think it's time that, we open something for our family, for ourselves again in the States. So he was visiting different places. He had a connection in Winston-Salem, and he came and visited it for, I think it was like 3 days, and immediately, like, they drove through downtown. Back then it wasn't like this.
No.
They drove through downtown, and then they went through some other places, like Old Salem, and I forget where else they went that he really liked, but just nearby towns, maybe Greensboro, things like that. He's like, I like Winston. It's a quiet town. They have nice schools. It's like, I feel like I can bring up my family here, whoever wants to come. So him and my mom talked about it. They found a location, and he was like, what are we good at? Greek food and pizzerias. That's all, Greeks can do. And so they opened up Zito. They can do more. I shouldn't say that. I don't want my mom to listen to this and be like, what? But what they can do, as they're a couple, their experiences, what they've done in the past.
Right.
They've done Greek cuisine, they've done pizzerias. So my dad said, let's open it up. And they did. And yeah, that was in 2014. So my dad was here already for about, since the 2000s. So yeah, so that's how he ended up here. And then he liked it, he stayed. My siblings didn't like it as much. They loved to visit, but, like, I just fell in love with Winston when I started visiting. I'm like, I would love to come to school here. I would love to live here. So yeah, I'm glad he chose here.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I'm terribly sorry about the loss of your father.
Thank you.
But I'm super excited that you kept it going, that you reimagined it with your mom, what it would look like. So part of what you mentioned earlier is creating a new menu. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so one thing I wanted to do when we reopened, I wanted to keep some of the old traditional things, but I also wanted to bring new things, because not that it's new ownership, but I don't like keeping things the same. So one thing I noticed was that there was a big push for veganism, especially here for whatever reason, but, we have a lot more culture, I feel like, in Winston-Salem now. So I remember, like, a year prior, I would always tell my dad, let's do vegan stuff. Let's push it. He's like, no, that stuff's gross. No, absolutely not. I'm like, listen, we're vegan already. Like, we fast for meat and dairy, like, before Christmas and Easter. That's different. No, we're not. No, no. So there's one day I'm like, okay, let's try something. Let's put a vegan poutine on special and see if it sells. And then if it doesn't sell, I'll never bring it up again. If it sells, do something about it. So I remember we put it on. It was a Friday night, and I'm not kidding you. We got like so many orders. Like every table's like, oh, that looks good. Let's try it. After like the 14th or 15th order, he was like, no, we're done. Take it off. I'm like, why?
What?
Like it's selling. He's like, no, I hate vegan. No. So I was like, okay, we're never going to get anywhere with this. So with the new menu, God rest his soul, but with the new menu, I was like, we're doing vegan. We're doing vegan. No one's telling me no. So we did it. And now, like you would say, it's like
one of our biggest sellers beside the vegan burger.
Really?
Yes.
And it's not just like, it's more like vegan comfort food. Like I'm not making like from scratch, like whatever, but still like the stuff that we do have, it's good. I would like to say it's more on the healthier side because I try and avoid anything that's soy-based or GMO-based or anything like that, and just use what we're good at and just transform it into a vegan version. So if it's pizzas, if it's poutines, even like a simple salad, you know, like, so I'm glad we did that because we've attracted a lot more customers that way.
That is
and a lot of
awesome.
vegan customers. A lot of vegan customers.
That's awesome.
But I think our biggest seller is our poutines, our vegan burgers, salads, our platters, and pizzas. That's the whole menu, basically. But our biggest seller is poutines. So people love that. Love that. And it is comfort food. You come in and, you know, get a poutine, and I asked them, are you getting this for, you know, this your dinner? You know, yeah, because if it's your dinner, you're done. I promise you're going to leave there full. So,
Wow.
yes, it's great. Very
Okay,
great.
yeah, y'all are making me very hungry right now.
Just stop by lunchtime.
I know. I'm thinking vegan burger is calling my name.
Well, let me butt in here,
Please.
because I said this off the air, but I'm going to say it on the air. I've only known Victoria since my 2019 burger tour, but she has quickly grown to be one of my favorite people in town, and I will do everything as the man who ate the town to support and promote Zito's
That's what I'm
because
talking about.
because she is amazing. She's a beautiful person, not only on the
Inside and
outside
out.
but inside. And I know a lot of Greeks in this town in the restaurant business, and there is none sweeter, and there's none that's more passionate about their food than Victoria. So,
Totally agree.
Wow.
huge fan of everything that she does, but the food over there is fantastic. My wife and I ate there Friday night, actually.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what is it that you think brings your customers back to you time and time again?
Now,
Is it? Go ahead.
Since I'm the front of the house, they see me first, you know, and I treat them how I want to be treated, you know, because I'm a customer, but I'm an employee too. So when I go to a restaurant, I'm showing them how I want to be treated,
Yes.
you know. So I go there. Well, I'm there, but when they come in, I greet them. I, you know, just see how their day is, talk about their kids if I know them. I've been there for 3 years, so now I know a lot of them, you know. Some come in and just ask just for me on my days off, you know. But there are some great customers. Just I probably never really had anything, had an issue with any of them. But they're just great customers. So I think coming from the front of the house, when you go somewhere and eat and trust people to make your food and to bring it to you and to refill your drinks and to make sure that when they come see Tamisha, I make it their best dining experience ever.
That's amazing.
You know, so-
Yes.
And that's coming from the front of the house. And in the back, when, you know, she may have 20, 50 orders, but she's going to get them out in a timely fashion, you know. And there's no rush. Sometimes people rush us, but hey, that's not fast food. You know, it's a restaurant where you sit in here and, you know, you put in your order and we bring it to you, you know. But she gets it out in a timely manner. So I think that's, and we have a love for people, you know.
It's family atmosphere.
Yeah, it's very family, you know. And I love that about it because it's very family oriented. All of us, you know, you come there with a smile. If you look behind that glass, they're smiling. What making them pizzas, you know? So it's very, very family oriented. And I love it.
I love
love
that. Family oriented, happy,
Yes.
love what you do.
Yes.
So for the folks that told you a long time ago that you were crazy to quit law school and to do this, have they changed their mind yet?
You know, it's funny. A couple of them reached out to me. It might have been like a year or two ago, and they're like, you know, we're looking at your Instagram and just, you know, because people like Tim, for example, and, you know, people had featured us in like different articles, and they're like, you know what, we're sorry. You know, certain people, I'm not going to say who, but like, we're sorry. Honestly, what you did is a big thing. I didn't do it for recognition. I just did it because I did ended up loving the restaurant. I wanted to do it for my dad as well, but you can't just do something for somebody else. Like, for me, it's just something I really liked. So I think they realized that I wasn't just like jumping into something and it's like, oh, I'm, you know, going to get super rich fast. It wasn't like that at all. It was like hard work, you know, 15-hour days. What 20-year-old wants to do that? Like, on week 3, I was like, what am I doing? Like, I could just be back in college, drinking on the weekend with my buddies and then going, you know, to class during the week. But I'm like, I didn't like that, though. I like what I'm doing now. It's long days, it's hard, but I feel like the end result,
in the end, it's all worth
makes it worth it. Yeah. Meet new people, you know, new family, and I've only ever worked with my siblings or my dad. So having like people that you can actually trust, that's such a major thing. That's why I'm saying like having Tamisha there is like my right hand, you know, because my mom's not here as often. So she's like my second mother almost.
Oh, that is so
Who doesn't
sweet.
yell at me. Yeah.
Who doesn't yell?
Yeah.
So, well, that's good. That's great. So what do you see in the future for the restaurant?
So we want to keep, you know, expanding and, you know, introducing more options. This year we introduced like pizza boats, which is like a Greek thing in Athens.
Oh, I saw them on your Instagram.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh, they look dangerous. They look so good.
And they're so cute. How she does is so cute. I'm not creative, so mine would never be. Mine would be a boat.
So for everyone listening, describe what a pizza boat is.
So in Greek, they're called lampinerlis, and it was kind of like introduced from like a Turkish aspect. But anyway, the Greeks adopted it and, you know, kept inventing it, whatever you want to say. But it's basically just an open-faced calzone.
That's all.
I would say it's more cheesy just because it's
very
open.
cheesy.
But, you know, we make our own garlic butter and we, like, put it on the sides. And it's very, very tasty. So I told her, I'm like, let's just try it and see on special. And it's been selling really well.
It's been selling. We have like 7
versions.
flavors.
Yeah.
And you can go on and create your own.
And you have a vegan option for that too?
Yeah, there's a vegan pesto boat. So it's like the vegan mozzarella, vegan pesto that we make, our red sauce. And just like, I think with the bread, it's just so tasty.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are making me so hungry. I think, is it lunchtime yet?
Yes.
Well, listen, I think we talked a lot about the menu and the story behind Zito, which I absolutely love, and what your goals are for the future. Is there anything that we didn't touch on today that you'd like to talk about?
What are your hours?
Our hours, we're closed on Sundays, and then Mondays we are 4:30 to 8:30, and then the rest of the weeks we're open all day, but we close in between the day 3 to 5. Okay. And that's selfishly for me too, just to kind of
we need it.
Get off
just
your
a little
feet.
bit of a break.
COVID kind of hit really hard, so I was like, you know what? I'm seeing all these other restaurants shortening their hours. We need some time too.
Yeah, and we do that to clean, to sanitize.
Yeah.
You know, from the morning.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Do you offer delivery as well?
Yeah, we do online now. We used to do in-house, but like when you have short
staff.
staff, it's too much of a headache. So we do everything online through Chow Now, which thank God it's helped out a lot. And yeah, and I did want to say personally, like, a big thank you to you and the community, because a lot of people have supported us a lot, especially with my dad's passing. So that was really helpful for us to continue, because I'm like, look at all this support we have.
Yes.
So that really
a lot of support, like people who know I never met him, but since I've been there in the 3 years, nothing but good things about him. You know, nothing but good things. People just come and just stare at his picture on the wall and just reminisce and just stand there in awe, you know, but like, oh my God, he's really gone, you know. But they still support because of him. And they support because we're there and we're good people and we're still serving good food, you know. But his name will always be, you know, reign forever of the legacy left behind, you know. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And according to producer Tim over here, the legacy that your dad left in you is a beautiful one. And evidently there's nobody quite like you in this area, Victoria.
Absolutely not.
That's
Absolutely
very kind
not.
of you to say. I'm sure there's somewhere, but honestly, it's been a really big blessing to know Tim too, because he's been, from the day I met him, extremely, extremely supportive. It's like a stranger who now, like, feels like family almost every time I see him.
Yeah.
So I'm very appreciative of that.
I love you, and we'll just tell you that outright. And you will always have the man who ate to town behind you, pushing whatever you need.
Very sweet. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, listen, for everyone listening whose mouth may be watering like mine is, how do they find you?
On Instagram, we have a Facebook page.
We're located on 3030 Healy Drive. It's kind of in between all like the Flow car dealerships.
Right behind there. Yeah.
Okay. And your website?
ZitoPizzeria and Grill.com. You can find the menu up there. You can order online through there. You can read our story through there. So, yeah.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, I'm so glad that you came today. Is there anything else you want to share that we didn't touch on?
We just added a new dessert. So we added the vegan vanilla cake. And you know what? I make that.
You do?
Yes.
It's really good.
I'm a baker and a caterer outside of Zito. So, yes, I made one yesterday.
Oh, you bring up a good point. Do you guys cater as well?
Yes.
Yes. Also online through our website, you can look at the catering menu, and you can also order through there.
That's good to know.
Yes.
All right. Well, ladies, again, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome.
And for everyone listening, thanks again. Until next time. We know you enjoyed this podcast today, so join us for the next episode of Greater Conversations. By the way, you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Be sure to smash that subscribe button. Also, be sure to visit our website at Winston-Salem.com. The views and opinions stated in this podcast are solely those of the contributors and not necessarily those of our sponsors, distributors, or hosting companies. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without expressed written consent of Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. or your toast.